Not gonna lie, today was an awful, awful day. Not in the sense of awfulness where, there was a huge tragedy, but it's the sense of awfulness where this is the angriest I've been in kind of like an 8-hour time period in about a decade or decade and a half. Work was okay. I got a lot of stuff done, but it was pretty high stress. But my boss and I got some reports in for what my company needed, basically last minute. And on my way to tennis practice with Brian, who I haven't seen in 5 to 6 days because of this tournament in Ohio, I arrived at the tennis club right on time and realized I forgot my shoes. So I had to rush home, show up 30 minutes late to a 90-minute hitting session, was pissed because I couldn't get B-roll footage and enough playtime to fully review the T1 Black Knight, which I promise I will have up by Thursday. So I was really pissed about that, and I was just slapping the ball and I wasn't concentrating, and luckily for me, I was able to have a nice lifting session in the gym, obviously while wearing a mask, in order to kind of alleviate some of the stress. On top of that, when I got back to the tennis club, when I closed the door, the seatbelt buckle wasn't in place and it was at a certain angle when I closed the door. It left a hole in the interior of the driver's side of my car. So yes, there is now a hole in the stupid interior lining of my Mercedes C300 coupe, which obviously isn't the end of the world. It's just a cosmetic thing, but it still really ticks me off because I love that car. It's my first luxury car and it's my baby. Just like for you guys, if you have a pet, that's your baby as well. So I'm really pissed about that. I probably won't even get it repaired because it's not worth it, because it's just a cosmetic scar. There were some positives of this weekend though. Mainly, I had a small taste of what it's like to become a touring pro, either in the ATP or WTA, just outside the top 100, where you're jumping from small city to small city and you're navigating this extremely scary, risky, yet rewarding world of professional tennis. And you're doing it mainly by yourself, and your only type of contact other than the people around you in the same tournament, who actually might be your opponent, is someone that is watching this video or reading your tweet or reading your email hundreds of miles away and maybe many hours into the future. So it's a scary thought, but when I interact with you guys in the comments section or my live streams, which I do every Tuesdays and Thursdays, it really enlightens me knowing that you guys are out there and you guys are feeling what I'm feeling through a camera lens, through the internet, through a computer screen, phone, or tablet, and are with me for my ups and my downs. And there's gonna be a lot of downs in this type of journey, if this journey didn't end yet, but I'll get to that in a minute. Speaking of weekend warriors that are just outside the top 100, Illya Marchenko, who is a professional tennis player, he actually beat Andy Murray, I believe, at a challenger final quite a few years ago. He actually commented on my bag check, which I'll leave a link to this corner if you guys want to take a look at it. I have his comment pinned up. So it's nice to know that someone on the world stage like Illya Marchenko, who does this for a living and relatively successful, is appreciating my stuff. So I will share you guys what he commented. I'll leave a screenshot on this video right now. And it's pretty cool that someone of his caliber is paying attention to someone that's an amateur tennis player, full-time programmer, and just happens to be somewhat decent in front of a camera navigating through this YouTube content creation stuff. So Illya, what's up, man? Nice to see you. Concerning the anxiety, the nervousness, and the anger and some other negative feelings that I felt throughout my match, especially that very first one against Matt, who's an amazing tennis player, and yes, he did end up winning the finals. So Matt, congratulations. That is awesome. I hope to see you again soon. And for nationals, if you do go, I hope you kick ass, man, because you're going to be representing the Midwest in this amazing tennis tournament if you choose to accept it. But for the feelings, I will say this. For those of you that are defending me in my comment section about my interaction with the judge, I will actually say 72 hours removed from the actual incident, I disagree with you. I agree with every single person that is grilling me in the comment section about me being too loud, too obnoxious, too douchey, too unprofessional. To those people that are saying that, I actually agree. Looking back at it, my decibel was way too high compared to the regular okays and come-ons that me and Matt were doing previously. And the amount of syllables, meaning the way I was saying things, the negative thoughts in my head, I said it too long. Therefore, it was more distracting, and especially in an enclosed environment like we were. So for those of you that were spectating, for the umpire that I was kind of talking to, and to the 10 or so other people on the tennis court with me at that time, I apologize, and please forgive me. The amount of stress that a tennis player feels, given it is a very new environment, given that is a completely different format, and there was a lot of things riding on me getting to the finals and was hopefully winning it, again, because I was also a 1 seed, was insurmountable to where I became a very bad version of myself. And it is my job as a tennis player, although amateur, to never let that happen at all costs. So the explosiveness, the negativity, I personally believe all of those negative thoughts are in every single person to some extent, but when and how you express those negative feelings when they do show in those glimpses of time is what really determines the champions from just the normal everyday people. And that doesn't apply just to tennis, that doesn't apply just to sports, but you see that in business, you see that in sales specifically, and you also see that in relationships as well. So it's no secret that hiring managers for these major companies, whether it's tech, business, sales, when they see that there's an athletic person with some success in front of them in the form of resume, they're probably going to want to hire you versus someone that doesn't have that type of background, assuming all things are equal. I personally love hiring athletes. I love networking with them because I know that they have the discipline, both mental, physical, and emotional, to really intake and perform well on high stress situations. Again, I'm not making an excuse for the fast forward format or the fact that I spent about $1,500 on this trip, including PTO, the car rental, the flights, and the opportunity cost for me to teach tennis on the weekends for my students that I'll be picking up next week. That's not an excuse. Matt and everybody else that beat me, including Zach, were a better tennis player than me. It's as simple as that. And I know that because guess what? They won. I do want to thank a few people because this trip would not have been possible or not nearly as successful or as fun without them. Obviously, I want to thank Seirea, who has his own YouTube channel. I will link to his channel down in the description below. Seirea was kind enough to be my hitting partner for 2 hitting sessions, my cameraman, and my coach. So without him, my matches, the ones that even I lost, would not have been nearly as competitive or as entertaining without him. So Seirea, thank you, man. I hope to see you on the YouTube channel sometime very soon, and you and I will collab given time constraints are totally not in the way for me. I also want to thank Rob and Kelsey, coming out of, I think they're out of Racine or Kenosha, which are from Wisconsin, obviously. And I didn't know they were actually going to be in this tournament until I saw them, because I think us 3 were the only actual Wisconsin people in the whole sectionals tournament. So it was nice grabbing dinner with you guys, nice seeing you play, good job on your wins, and you actually had some pretty close losses, the ones that you guys lost. So I hope to see you guys at Nationals too as well. I actually kind of spoiled the ending. Bad. I also want to thank Heidi, Angela, Matt, Zach, Joseph, and everybody else that I've seen in the tournament. And it's kind of humbling because there were a few people that wanted to take a picture of me because they knew me from the internet, whether it's from my channel, Essential Tennis, or some other tennis outlet out there. It was an amazing experience. I was kind of like, I'm usually the one that is starstruck because if I go to these professional tournaments like Indian Wells or Cincinnati, I'm like, oh my God, there's Grigor Dimitrov. But obviously not nearly as good, but it was great meeting people that knew me and someone that I didn't necessarily know. And, you know, they were shoving beers down my throat. So I was having a pretty good time at the tournament. So yeah, nice seeing you guys. And also, I definitely want to thank you guys for watching this journey. I know I pumped a lot of vlog style and tennis match stuff content in this channel over the 72 hours I was on this trip. So thank you for watching and thank you for the comments. Again, whether you're supporting me or grilling me for my attitude of the line judge, thank you. That's not sarcastic. That is absolutely sincere. Thank you guys. And for the final bit for my bid to nationals. So funny enough, because the 2020 year was so messed up in terms of the global situation, whatever the hell you want to call it, you know what I'm talking about. There's, I would say, an 80% chance that I still qualify for nationals, given I actually placed 6th. I know based on the previous videos I said, the first and second place, the finalists in the main draw are the first and second, and then the third and fourth would be the consolation finalists. Well, actually that's untrue. There was a correction that the tournament director gave me. So it's actually the semifinalists that are the top 4, and then 5th place is the consolation winner, 6th place is the consolation finalist, which in this case is me for 4, 5, 18 and over singles. So I know Matt and Zach can't make it. So that puts me at number 4 or 5, whatever you want to call it, if you're including, if this is a zero-based list right now. But also, they're actually doubling the draw, given that they're inviting the people that should have been invited way back in 2020, which obviously was canceled because that was the height and the introduction of this global pandemic that we're still kind of all experiencing at this day and age. Hopefully it's gone soon. And there's also going to be a huge bid for wildcards for that draw of 64 spot. And that draw of 64 is double in size. It's normally a draw of 32. So on top of the fact that I'm actually bumped up higher than what I normally would because a few people in front of the line can't make it, I'm still in a bid for a wildcard entry for this national tournament. So not all hope is lost. On top of that, there is a chance that me and Brian, who is my main hitting partner and who would actually be my cameraman for this national championship journey if I do qualify, he will actually be my doubles partner, and there is a bid for us in the wild card slot as well. I'm working with that with the tournament director who is representing the Midwest. I believe it's the same individual that ran this tournament. So here's hoping. So this journey is definitely not over. There's still hope. It's just, unfortunately, not in my hands anymore. So I will definitely keep you guys updated. As for this channel overall, this vlog style content for this road to the national championship will be on pause until I know whether I qualify for singles and or doubles for this 2021 championship. So click like and hit subscribe if you want to keep following me and other original tennis content. As of now, on my backlog, I'm wrapping up my T1 Black Knight tennis string review. I will have my final playtest tomorrow on Wednesday, which is March 3rd. Oh my God, it's already March. And then I have another match play coming up for you guys against a former student of mine who is a Division I recruit. His name is Drew. He is an amazing all-court tennis player. And on top of that, I have 2 racket reviews I'm going to do for you guys. The 2 racket reviews that are coming up next in no particular order are the current Yonex E-Zone 98 2020 version, and then the previous version of the Radical Pro from Head. I believe this was released in 2017. So I'll have these 2 rackets reviewed for you guys, hopefully in the next coming weeks. And just a heads up for the E-Zone players, there's a little bad thing that's surrounding this racket that no playtester has actually said officially, other than maybe my Tennis HQ. But there's something a little bit hidden here that you guys definitely need to know, and you really wouldn't know about this issue of this racket getting massive arm and elbow problems until about 4 months of regular hitting at the 4-5 or higher level. So that's a little bit of preview for this. So that's my bucket list. Match play with Drew, who's my D1 recruit. T1 Black Knight tennis string review. Then these 2 racket reviews. So that's 4 pieces of content for you guys coming out soon. And I will have a polling for the very next string you guys want me to review. By the time this video is out, I will actually have that polling out on my Instagram. So on my Instagram, that is going to be a link down in the description below. Vote on what string you want me to review next. With much love and much tiredness before my pills kick in, happy hitting.